We now welcome Dr. Richard Upward, Professor of Labour Economics. Welcome, Richard. So can we start by asking, what are some of the degrees that you have on offer, and how can students tailor those degrees to their career aspirations?
So we actually offer 8 different MSc degrees, and each of them is focused on a different part of economics, but they all share a common core of modules which teach you the basics of economics. And then you can build on that. If you're interested in development economics, you can do an MSc in development. If you're interested in data science, you can do an MSc in data science. And when students arrive at Nottingham, they can actually choose which of these degrees to take. Those degrees teach certain different skills which are valuable to employers. And I think that, each of those degrees gives students a route into a different area of employment.
And what is it about Nottingham and the world-leading research that can help students when they're navigating these courses?
Sure. So I think there's 3 things here. The first is that the professors who teach you will be genuine sort of world experts in their field. They're actually doing research. So when they're teaching you stuff, they really do know what they're talking about. The second thing is the kind of environment in the school. So we have lots of academics, professors from other countries and other universities in the UK coming to Nottingham to give their research. And then the third thing is that when you come to do your dissertation, you will get one-to-one supervision with one of the professors who can genuinely guide you and help you with your own research.
So is there then an international aspect to, what you're studying, and is this course open to students from other countries?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the student body is incredibly varied. It comes from, they come from lots of different countries. I'd say this year we probably have students from 20 different countries. And many of the academics in the School of Economics are also from other countries. So we're a very international school, both in terms of the students and in terms of the professors who will teach you.
So how do the master's courses help to launch successful careers?
Well, I think doing an MSc in economics teaches you to think like an economist, which means thinking rigorously and logically about human behaviour. And we found that that's an extremely valuable skill in the labour market. So both in terms of your technical skills and in the way you think about the world, that's very useful to employers.
And what are some of the roles that your recent graduates have gone into?
So I think there's 3 areas of jobs that our graduates typically go into. One is in the private sector, working, using economics in the private sector, like in financial services firms or doing economic consultancy. There's another group of students who work for government. So it might be the UK government, or they might go back home to their own country and work for the treasury in the country they come from. And then the third area is going into academia itself. So doing an MSc in economics is a great first step to doing a PhD.
And are there any exciting developments in economics at the moment that students might be interested in?
Yeah, so I think economics has become much more empirical in the last few years, and in particular, data science has become a big topic in economics. And increasingly, economists are kind of scraping data from the internet or collaborating with large companies in order to get information about the way people behave and using that to answer important research questions. And certainly the tools of data science are increasingly part of economics, which I think is a very interesting development.
And taking on those, new areas of development, how is that being translated into student skills and preparing them for the future?
Yeah, so some of what we teach students is quite practical kind of computer skills, for example, which are very valuable in the labour market. So for example, in the second semester, there's a macroeconomics module where students will use the software which central bankers use when they're trying to figure out, what's inflation going to be next month. So I think there are, as well as the kind of theoretical stuff they do, there's also practical skills they learn while they're here.
And are there any placement opportunities available to students?
Yeah, there is a faculty placement opportunity where students can spend a few days a week working in other companies. But most of our students are very busy while they're here, and they would typically go on to get jobs after they finish their degrees.
And what is it about the University of Nottingham specifically that is such a great place to study, particularly this master's course?
Well, I think there's 2 things. First of all, the environment of the university itself is really beautiful. It's a lovely place to work and study. And secondly, the School of Economics is a very friendly international place. I'm always amazed at the number of different countries which our students come from and how they, form friendships with each other, which, will last them the rest of their lives. And it's a great thing to see.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today.